Good afternoon, Professor. Hope you're doing well. To answer your questions, first of all, regarding finger perception, I was kind of aware of it, to be honest. I didn't think it was as advanced as I just saw in our module, and I am impressed. I kind of saw it as a stepping stone to help students learn in a more abstract way, but now that I saw the videos, especially the multiplying with your fingers, I see that it's more than that. So yeah, in a way I did know about finger perception, but like I said, I did not think that it was that useful as I'm seeing now. What happened when I tested this on a friend? We were both impressed. My friend was impressed. At first, my friend thought, oh, this is just like elementary type of stuff. Like, I don't need to do this. I can just, think about it mentally. But when I was testing her, she thought it was very interesting. Again, especially with the multiplication video. Do I find myself using my fingers to do math? To be honest, I don't. I use more paper and pencil and my brain. So I think more mental math. But now I can see that it's very useful and I like it. Families, your next question. Families and math. How can we encourage families to be involved in their child's math education? To be honest, I think that we need to educate them because I see a lot of families that are struggling understanding all these new methods and they want to just stay with the traditional ways. I had friends who have asked me like why is this whole new way of teaching math being taught in schools where when we were in school, we all learned the traditional way and we're fine. So they don't understand why. I think, like I said, communicating with them, helping them understand, giving them the resources, not just saying, oh, well, this is the only way or this is the way now that we're doing things. So kind of deal with it. I don't think that's the best route, but more like informing them, trying our best to explain the why, the reasoning, and showing them some of these procedures. Okay, this is how they work. That way they can understand and be able to help their child or their children, because some of these families get frustrated thinking, oh well, these new ways, I don't know how to help them, and that's why they tend to complain and say that we should just go back to the traditional way. How will I encourage families to talk about math at home? Again, providing them with resources, communicating with them, and trying my best to answer their questions, and just having an open mind and really just giving them the information, explaining the reasoning, and telling them why it's important for them to talk at home about math with their children. I think it will be very useful to explain to them why they need to get rid of those negative comments, such as, oh, I'm not good at math, I wasn't good at math, so you're probably not good at it either, or just things like that. Really educating. I think education is the key to success. So my main strategy will be educating them. Education and communication. I think those are the keys to help these families understand and help their children. Let's see. Norms and procedures. Can you think of norms and procedures you have seen used? I would say there's a variety of ones. For example, the way that students line up. For example, alphabetical order. When these norms and procedures are taught at the beginning of the school year, students keep practicing them and they already know what to do, what to expect, and they're very important. Or another one would be when it's time to rotate. The teacher might have a signal and the students already know, okay, this is what that means, this is what we have to do. So I've seen a lot of these procedures in place, and a lot of them are successful because the students are trained since the beginning on how to do these procedures, and they just keep going. The teacher doesn't even have to tell them anything anymore because the students already know what is expected of them. Other procedures are involved when it comes to reading. They know, okay, when it's silent reading, we don't talk, or the teacher will send different signals and messages. So the students know already, okay, now it's time for that. The teacher did this. Or for example, when they need to use the restroom, they use their hand signals. I found that very useful as well. Instead of them having to raise their hand, or they just do things like this, or just other norms and procedures that are taught right at the beginning, and the students just keep following them. If I can think of a time when norms and procedures failed or were successful, I would say, again, when they are taught since the beginning, the students get into this habit of already knowing what to expect or what to do, and they're not like lost, just running around, not they're very successful and since the beginning, and it's something that I learned in one of my classroom management courses last semester, that norms and procedures have to be implemented in the beginning. The teacher needs to practice with the students. Where I have seen that they're not successful, when teachers tend to change them a lot, or where they don't let the students know, and they kind of assume that the students will already know. So I think that's when I've seen them failing, when all of a sudden they change them or they're not very clear about them. So how can I support my students abiding by class norms and procedures? Just being firm and clear since the beginning, letting them know this is what is expected of you. This is how we do things here in the classroom. Explaining to them the why, not just saying, oh, we're doing this just because we have to do it. But I think they understand more, they comprehend more when they are told the reasoning why. So I do want them to follow the norms and procedures, but also for them to really understand why they're in place. And I want them to know that if they have any suggestions, any ideas, they can come and talk to me in a calm and productive manner. So again, I would say that these have to be implemented since the beginning, and they have to be reasonable and clear for the students to fully understand and follow them.